name is Carrie and you are in the Zia Cooking Kitchen. Welcome back, cooking fans. I'm so excited that you guys could be here today, and I'm glad you're following along. If it's your first time joining me in the kitchen, make sure you subscribe to Zia Cooking with Carrie. It's really important. Click that button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really warms my heart for you to help me build my channel. Today we're going to be doing some exciting things, and I'm talking about some recipes that are going to blow your mind. We're going to be going a little bit out of a different type of direction than my traditional New Mexico foods, but let me tell you, steak and potatoes are always a wonderful meal no matter what state you live in, and New Mexico happens to have some of the best beef, and today we are going to be making pepper crusted filet mignon. Yes, we're going to use my cast iron. It's going to be coated in peppercorn, and I'm going to show you how to make a really delicious, simple peppercorn sauce to go with that steak. So let's jump right in. You know, I talk a lot and I talk fast, but you can feel free to leave any questions that you have in the description or the comments below, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. So what we're going to start to do, because I am the queen of easy and I love to get dinner on the table as fast as possible, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start with some baked potatoes. Now, these baked potatoes that I'm making are going to be something that I'd like to share with you because I call them half-baked. And it doesn't mean that they're not all there. What it really means is that I'm going to cut them in half before we bake them, and we're going to limit our time to less than 25 minutes. I took the time to scrub these really well, and these are just our basic Idaho potatoes. And what I'm doing is I'm simply cutting these in half and putting them on my baking sheet. That was easy. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some olive oil, and we just need a bit, gang, but we're going to coat these and make sure that they're all covered. Now, the wonderful thing about making potatoes this style is you could actually make a stuffed potato or a double baked potato. Once they're done, you can take out the inside. You can mix it with other toppings, cheese, chili, and then refill your skins again. But today I'm going to show you how easy it is to get this done. I like to use coarse salt when I'm creating these. And don't hold back. Remember, we're going to make a nice, wonderful crust on these potatoes. That was easy. All we're going to do is pop them in the oven. We're going to put these in the oven. I have it at 400 degrees, and we're going to let these cook for about 25 minutes. And then we're going to get started on our steak. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here in the kitchen with me today. I love steaks, and I'll tell you, the best steak I know how to make is with a filet mignon. And I'm going to show you how to do this restaurant quality. And we're going to go ahead and get started now. We're using my trusty cast iron, and I'm going to go ahead and change sides. Thanks for hanging out with me there. In order to prep these steaks, I went ahead and I used some fresh cracked peppercorn, which you can see here, and some coarse salt. And today we are using about a 2-inch thick filet mignon. And the butcher has already taken the time to tie these for us to keep our meat compact and allow it to cook completely at the same level. Because sometimes if you open it up, you may have a thicker part and a thinner part, and you want to make sure that your meat stays compact while you're cooking it. How easy is this to get going? We are simply going to coat these in our salt and pepper. And don't forget to do the edges. Filet mignon is a delicious part of a steak. You find these in fancy restaurants. And I like to show people how easy it is to create these luxurious meals in their house. And we're going to coat all the sides using that peppercorn and that coarse salt. Now what we're going to do here is, as our skillet is getting nice and hot, we're going to use our cast iron skillet stovetop because we're going to sear the steaks. We're going to put a nice brown charred flavor on them. We're going to let it cook for 2 minutes. We're going to flip it over and we're going to let it cook for 2 minutes on that side, and then we're going to finish it in the oven. Let's go ahead and see if this is ready to go. It looks beautiful. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. Love having a nice steak. Sometimes we get a little intimidated when we're trying to create a lot in our kitchen. So feel free to go ahead and make your potatoes sooner if you'd like. But I always like to get them in the oven as fast as possible because they take about 25 minutes to cook. So while those are going, we're starting our sear on this side, and I'm telling you, this house is starting to smell like a delicious steakhouse already. I can smell that delicious aroma. I'm going to share with you how we're going to finish our steaks, and that is by using a green chili garlic compound butter. And the way that I prepared this is I roasted a full head of garlic, and I allowed my butter to come up to room temperature, and then I mixed that garlic with some chopped roasted green chili, and I mixed that with our butter. Woo! That smoke was getting to my throat there, excuse me. And so once that's done, I rolled it up in saran wrap, and you can store it in your freezer for up to 6 months, or you can keep it in the refrigerator for just a couple of weeks. It's a wonderful thing you can use on biscuits, you can use it on the baked potatoes we're making, but imagine garlic butter and green chili. It's delicious. Go ahead and give this a flip. Woo! Look at that. So those are coming together really nice. Let me go ahead and see if I can show you how well that's cooking, and that delicious crust is forming on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these in the oven, and we're going to do 2 minutes on each side as I explained, and we're going to go anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes for a medium steak, and if you like it more well done, you can add a few moments in. I really encourage you when you're working with a filet mignon, which is sometimes a more expensive cut of meat, that we don't want to overcook it. It's always easy to add it back in the oven for another minute or two, but surely you don't want to walk out of your kitchen and let something delicious like this go to waste. I'm glad you're here with me today at the Zia Cooking Kitchen. Let's go ahead and put these in the oven, and we'll be right back so I can show you how we can finish this off. Amazing! We just took these delicious filet mignon steaks out of the oven, and remember, we seared them on a cast iron skillet for 2 minutes on each side to get a nice brown crust, and then we put them in the oven. We're going to put these in the oven at 400 degrees, and we're going to let them cook for about 8 to 10 minutes for a medium steak. If you like to go a little bit longer, feel free. I like a steak that's medium to medium well myself. And if you'd like to take time off of it because you love your meat rare, then you want to go ahead and pull it out about the 7-minute mark. This looks delicious. So what we're going to do, and one of the most important things you can do to respect a steak and make sure it tastes good, is to give it some resting time. So let's go ahead and put that out here. And I'm going to go ahead simply and just set it and cover it with foil. And while that's going on, I want to share a really wonderful way of getting some exciting cooking going. This comes from a restaurant in Santa Fe, a very famous steakhouse. And we're going to take our drippings that we used with our filet mignon, and we're going to drop in a little bit of flour. And when I say a little bit, I'm talking about less than 1 tablespoon. And we're going to put that in there, and I'm going to whisk that up. You can see, coming to, ooh, talk about hot one. That was a dumb move, girl. Thank goodness we've got this going right now. So as you can see, let me flip this over so I don't repeat that silly mistake I did. We're using those drippings and all that peppercorn, and we're going to go ahead and just drop in some of that, and we're going to add in, thanks for hanging out with me, a nice knob of butter. Let that emulsify, get cooking in there. And I am going to go ahead and now slowly add in some heavy cream. Now by putting that in there, we're going to create a nice luxurious peppercorn sauce that is going to accent our filet mignon. And stirring that in. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit that with a little bit of extra black pepper because I like a nice peppery one. Now remember, we have those delicious baked potatoes and we have that compound butter ready to go. I've also pulled out a little bit of sour cream because that's always delicious on a baked potato. And we put together a salad. And a simple salad with a spring mix. We put some carrots in there and some tomatoes. And that's gonna make a nice way to clean and clear our palate between this luxurious steak that we're going to be enjoying. And I'm using a simple olive oil and vinegar dressing, but you can feel free to use whatever type of salad dressing that you like. Now that sauce is looking ready to go and delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more black pepper. And I don't want anybody to worry. There's no burn. Great. Now taking a look at this beautiful steak. Oh, the smell is fabulous. Get myself a knife. And we're gonna go ahead and get this plated. I've already went ahead and I used our half-baked potatoes, and do you see how lovely those came out with a nice crust? I love to cook them that way. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add in some salad here. And I have a very special guest visiting, one of my aunties, and I talk about my aunties a lot, so for those of you who follow along, she is a real special one to me, and she came all the way to see me from San Antonio. So I'd like to ask my Aunt Priscilla to join me here, if that's okay, in the Zia Cooking Kitchen. Come on in, Prissy.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. You're one of my biggest cooking fans. You're a great inspiration to me, and you've taught me so much about cooking, and I'm glad that you're here to enjoy some of this delicious New Mexico food.
Oh yes, well, I love our New Mexico food. I picked a great day to be here. Look at this steak.
Oh, this looks great.
Ooh, just right.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and slice this up here on my cutting board, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to plate it and get this ready. So we're simply going to, excuse me, use our nice peppercorn cream sauce. I'm going to go ahead and put that out on the bottom of our plate, just like those fancy steakhouse restaurants. There we go. That looks delicious. Sorry about that. We'll make that one my plate. Very good. I want to show you again how easy it is to make these delicious plates. Now this beats any restaurant. This is a great date night meal. This is a wonderful time to get together with family. We love making steaks together and enjoying them in the Zia Cooking Kitchen. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, you want to take a minute and do that now. And I want to go ahead and share this with my Aunt Prissy. And again, welcome to the Zia Cooking Kitchen. My name is Carrie. I'm so glad that you follow along. If you have any questions or you want to leave any comments, feel free to leave those below. Aunt Prissy, join me in the kitchen.
Yummy. Happy eating, and hug the ones you love. So excited. Delish.
Great.
Mm-hmm.